Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox. Welcome back to the channel. All right, you guys, we got a few things to talk about. Let's talk about the Republicans and how much they just confuse me. Let's talk about this new hashtag AOC Smollett. Let's talk about the stimulus. Let's talk a little bit about Stacey Abrams, and then let's round it all up with a Rona check-in. Let's talk about it, shall we? All right, you guys, I know that we talk about the Republicans a lot lately, but the Republicans are in the news a lot lately, you guys. And you know, I've always said that the Republicans definitely are a stick-together kind of group, and that they are willing to sacrifice quite a bit in the name of their party, even sometimes their moral values, even sometimes their common sense. It just seems that way anyway. I'm not saying that because I'm a Democrat, because I'm telling you, the Republicans have given us quite a bit to talk about these days, you guys. I don't get it. They're letting a cancer's member, such as Marjorie Taylor Greene, stay in their party, who is a representative out here in Georgia. I'm not quite sure what area she is. They just said North Georgia. I know that she's not representing our, districts, but she's a representative that is quite problematic out here in Georgia, who has said all kind of like crackpot and loony things when it comes to, she's a conspiracy theorist. She is a part of the QAnon, and she has gained quite a following. I mean, not that that's surprising, because there's quite a bit of people that believe in all of the conspiracy theories. And so she's definitely become a spokesperson for that. Unintentionally, or maybe it was intentionally, but as the media continues to talk about her name has gotten out there more and more. You know, how many of you guys know about representatives from other states? If you don't live in Georgia, normally you wouldn't know anything about this person, or, a person that was talking so much and doing so much. But in this case, we know a lot, and everybody now knows her name. And some of the conspiracy theories that she has thrown out there is that the Rothschilds and the I can't even think of the other families, but you guys know the big financier families that are out there. She says that they are the ones that control space laser beams that shoot down into the earth and create the wildfires. She is also the one that has said that the Parkland shooting and other school shootings were staged, that they were fake. She is the one that has said that members of the Democratic Party, prominent members of the Democratic Party should be killed. She has said a lot. And even though this is the sentiments of, many people that belong to that QAnon society, I guess I should say, for them to actually have somebody like this that's representing in their governmental, like somebody who's actually a part of the House of Representatives, part of the Congress, who are saying these kind of things. I mean, what was the name of the lady that got fired from her show, or basically kind of blackballed, when she was saying that the Parkland shootings were fake? What was her name? Remember, she came in, she's the one that had taken Tamron Hall's position, and Tamron kind of got ousted, and then she came talking about the school shootings, and then they hurried up and kind of hustled her off as well. You guys remember what her name? I can't even think of her name on NBC. Anyway, back then you couldn't say those things. Now, I guess it might be okay, because when you talk to McCarthy, who is the the leader in the House of Representatives, he has been under pressure to put her out, basically, to take her off of the committees that she represents in the House of Representatives, in Congress, I should say. And he has decided that he won't do that. He did meet with her just yesterday, I believe it was. And, the Democrats want her out. He said, though, after he met with her, that, that her thoughts are not the thoughts of the Republicans, in the House of Representatives. However, they are going to continue to support her. And I'm sitting there listening to this, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow, really? So that's why when I say the Republicans really confuse me, it's just sort of like, yeah, you guys really are about party, for real, for real. He wants to make sure that they have a united front. So yeah, he's not going to support putting her out. Now, they also were trying to put the pressure, the Trump loyalists were also trying to put the pressure on McCarthy to get rid of Liz Cheney. You know, Liz Cheney represents, she's the third Republican, third highest Republican in Wyoming. And you guys know that Liz Cheney was the person that spoke out and said that they needed to impeach YSAP because he got those people all whipped up to go down there and, terrorize the Capitol. Well, of course, Wyoming, I think they said 70% of that state supports YSAP, 70% Republican. They did not like that she said that, so now everybody wants to get rid of her. They have tried to force her to apologize, and she hasn't done it. She said she will not do it. We are talking about a Cheney here, and you guys know that Dick Cheney, who is her father, many people have talking about how stubborn he is, very much old school, from the old good old boy, like what he say, what he mean, and he mean what he say kind of thing. And Liz Cheney obviously is cut from that same cloth. And she said she's not going to apologize. And when it came down to a vote, both on Cheney and on Green, the Republicans have voted to keep them both in place, at least as far as the House of Representatives is concerned, and by an overwhelming majority. Now, the Senate feels a little bit differently about Green, and McConnell has spoken out about her and said that, she's a cancer to their party. However, if I know the Republicans, like I think maybe I'm starting to realize the Senate is not going to vote her out either. Now, the Republicans don't have the final say. Of course, the Democrats are going to get rid of her. And then you kind of wonder if this is just really a way for the Republicans to save face. Like, okay, we're not going to get rid of her. Okay, because we already know the Democrats going to do it. That's kind of how I'm wondering if that's how they're going to kind of package this whole deal, is that they'll get rid of her on the merits of the Democrats doing it and not the Republicans. So, it's all such a game. And I might be wrong about that, but I just wonder sometimes, like, in the public, they look this way, but they know behind closed doors that, she's on her way out. Now, she has apologized. When I say she, I'm talking about Green. She has apologized for some of the things that she said, and she came out and said that she doesn't believe many of the conspiracy theories that she used to believe. But we got that one to see. Okay, she's been very passionate about her beliefs. She was even harassing some of the kids that were survivors from the Parkland shooting, calling them idiots. This one boy following him and saying that, he's lying. This is one of the kids that survived the shootings, and she's trying to tell him that he wasn't involved in it, I guess. So, yeah, child, it is a mess when I tell you. And she's been on the news more and more, not so much as much Cheney, but for sure, this Green lady has been on the TV every day, all day. They talk about her all the time. The media is definitely responsible for pumping her up more. But because politics is such a hot topic, of course I haven't even been watching CNN, so I can imagine what they're talking about on CNN. CNN was so obsessed with YSAP that I had just got tired of, because we all, YSAP got on all our nerves equally. But CNN just couldn't find a way to not talk about him. They was going to wrap him up, and I'm sure they're still doing that because we still have the impeachment that's coming up, and all of that. But see, because I'm in Georgia, I just hear a lot about Marjorie Greene more and more every day. But this united front that the Republicans are trying to have, it is just so sickening because, these things, this woman is calling for Nancy Pelosi to be killed. Like, when do you have somebody that actually is a part of Congress saying these kind of things and it being okay? I don't know. It's craziness to me. So I think the senators are over her, but I think they're going to go on and hang with the looser bunch of the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives look like like I said, they the looser bunch. They the ones that's, maybe not quite out there like that, can kind of move a little bit more recklessly, you know, and I don't know, are they younger? Like, what is going on in the House of Representatives that's different than the senators? It's craziness. It's craziness. But we're going to see what happens. Now, like I said, the Democrats vote today, and I believe they will get rid of her. She's on some sort of committees. They were trying to push her off into a lesser known committee. The Democrats said that no, they want her out all the way, but it's gonna be hard because she's got quite a following. So we'll keep our eye on old girl. We're gonna keep our eye on old sis. But I didn't opened up the doors to my Republican rock stars out there. I just wish that somebody would kind of explain to me, just like, do you feel like this woman is crazy as well? I mean, or do you support the things that she says? Or, you know, like, how do you guys feel if you're not a Trump loyalist, but you are definitely a proud and true Republican? Like, I mean, what is happening to the party? Is it changing? Is it evolving? Is there a way for the people that are the farthest right? Is there a way for them to just separate themselves and start a new party, possibly? Because I guess this branch of people may be like Tea Party kind of people, but maybe even not quite. They might even be a little bit more radical than the Tea Party people. Y'all just let me know. Y'all just let me know, because I learn here. I've learned a lot. So, so you guys definitely help me. So y'all just put me up on game. But the Republicans, ciao. We talk about the Republicans all the time, you guys, but we also got to talk about the Democrats when we have to. Now, y'all explain to me, because it's early in the morning. I'm doing this video. And so I haven't really been able to do too much research on this Alexandria Cortez hashtag that's going around, AOC Smollett. But as soon as I saw Smollett, I said, you know what, this can't be good. This means that there's a lie somewhere. So the hashtag is trending, evidently, because Alexandria, what's her name? Osario Cortez. People are saying that she grossly misrepresented her location when the Capitol riots occurred on January 6th. Many of the people in Congress were explaining or sharing on social media and whatnots, how they felt about the riots, how it made them feel, what they experienced. We've been hearing those stories over the weeks. People were terrorized, people were scared for their lives, that kind of thing. So I believe that Ms. Cortez also had been sharing her stories of fear and being terrorized as well. It has come out by Representative Nancy Mace, who is a Republican in South Carolina. She says that she doesn't understand why Ms. Cortez was so terrified, considering they were in a building that was not at the Capitol, but a few blocks away. So it was on the complex of the Capitol. Okay, I'm assuming many of the government buildings that surround the Capitol, they're all a part of the Capitol, but not the Capitol in and of itself. They're saying that she was actually in her office that was a couple of blocks away. There was nothing happening at her location. Her office is 2 doors down from Alexandria Cortez. Now, the story that's in question is Alexandria Cortez is saying that she was in her office, that somebody came to her door. They had a menacing, angry stare. They were short-tempered and, kind of rushing her along, like telling her to come on. They were going to take her to a safer location. She said she wasn't really sure how she should feel about this person. Not even positive if it was the Capitol Police. They were so hostile. But, she went on with the person and that she was traumatized from that experience. She said that she has she's struggled with sexual violence in the past. Many people didn't believe her. So now she has this thing where sometimes she doesn't like to share her stories because she has a fear that people won't believe her. Okay. But she finally did come out and tell this story about the Capitol Police coming out. Now, of course, that doesn't line up with the story that Representative Mace gave, who said that nobody came to their building, that they were not in danger, that there were no rioters there, that there were no Capitol Police there, and that Ms. Cortez is, if she's not truly misrepresenting the story, then she's just flat out lying. Now, you guys, like I said, I ain't had a chance to really research up on this story, But I'm gonna need somebody to please let me know. Please tell me that this woman is not lying about her experience. When you see the map of the Capitol and then the location of where the building is, I suppose, where Alexandria supposedly her office resides, then it does look like it's very far away. Okay, but that might just be from me looking at the map, and maybe I can't really visually picture like where everything is. You know, nobody wants to hear a story about somebody lying about their experiences just to gain sympathy. So I am just really praying that this woman has not done this. It doesn't seem like she would need to, you know, especially with the focus being on the Republicans right now. It doesn't seem like she would even need to insert herself in the story like that. The Republicans are even saying, like, you know, she's making it seem like the rioters were after them, when all of the Republicans, or many of the Republicans, will tell you that the Republicans was really the ones that was on the hottest seat. If you weren't like the higher up in the Democrats, they weren't after you. They were after Nancy Pelosi. They was after Pence. Those were the two. And maybe they could have, if they could have caught up with old Mitch McConnell, maybe something might have went down there, you know. So there were other people that were in their sights. However, I have seen Alexandria Cortez, like I've seen her heaped into the smear campaigns when they were running for senator out here in Georgia. So I mean, her name is known. So I mean, you know, I don't know really what's going on, but they're definitely pushing this hashtag saying that she lied. That she did not experience that. And like I said, Representative Nancy Mace in South Carolina is saying that no, there was nothing like that going on there. There was more to the story. Alexandria said that she was so afraid in her office that she was looking for a place to hide. So she was opening cabinets and looking around, and another woman came and asked her what she was doing, and she said she was looking for a place to hide, you know, that she was very afraid. And all that could very much be true. I mean, even if you know, aren't exactly in the fire, like, you know, you could still be so scared that something, because I know that when 9/11 happened, when 9/11 happened, there was just a general fear. I worked for the government in Los Angeles. I mean, I was nowhere near any kind of place that would have been in danger, but I still had like that fear, like, oh my God, like you just don't really know. So, I mean, but you know, it wasn't a terrifying fear. It was just sort of like you didn't know what to trust, what was around you, you know? So, I mean, she could have felt that. You know, but people are saying that she was just terrified. She thought she was going to die that day, and just kind of made her feelings seem on the same level as the people that were actually kind of staring down the barrel of a gun, so to speak. You know, the people that were actually there, that was being shifted from room to room and running around and under tables and all of that. So, like I said, you guys, I don't know the story, and I don't want to talk bad about the girl, but we can't ignore these stories. Like, if she's out there lying, it would, like, somebody tell me that's not true. Please tell me that is not true. I don't want to be a part of a taking down of this woman either, you know. So that's why I just want to know. I wish I would have probably read up more on this so that I could have gotten. But, you know, it's hard because once Twitter gets a hold of it and everything, you don't really know which side to believe, because people just be all over there and just tweeting whatever they want to tweet. But yeah, you guys, something's up there. The story is, you know, people are challenging it. What do you guys think? All right, you guys, short story real fast. Congratulations are in order to Stacey Abrams. Okay, she is the African-American, black woman, whatever you want to call it. What's the label that we're using these days, you guys? I just say black, but now people are saying it's supposed to be African-American, or child, it's not African-American lives matter. It's just Black Lives Matter, right? We black, right? Okay, well, whatever it is, you guys. She has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. She was nominated for her Georgia Democrats voting rights organization, Fair Fight Action. Okay, she raised millions of dollars trying to get disenfranchised and people just generally who do not go out to vote. She raised the $1 million to get people on the ground and just activate and make sure that people were not only registered to vote, but did vote. She followed all the way through with these people. And that campaign was what helped to turn Georgia from red to blue. It is definitely a blue state. The senators, both of the senator positions in Georgia are both Democrats. Even though the governor is a Republican, people will say that YSAG, that would be Brian Kemp, stole the election from Stacey Abrams when they were running for governor back in 2018. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, here we are in 2021 and the state is blue, and we owe a lot of that to Stacey Abrams. So because of her actions, they have nominated her for a Nobel Peace Prize. Now, being nominated does not mean that you actually have it. Quite a few people are nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Jared Kushner was also nominated, which is the son-in-law of WhatsApp, married to Ivanka Trump. He was nominated for some work that he did on a peace treaty and, back when, whatever. All right. Not to say that the man ain't did whatever he did or whatever if he was an asset for, but I'm just letting you guys know that there are many people that are nominated. That does not mean that you actually win in this category that you were nominated for. But in Miss Abrams' case, we hope that she is able to bring that on home. That will be just something else to, great to have on her resume as she heads into, the political year of running for governor again, because I believe she will definitely do that. And if things continue on the way they have been, that she is a shoo-in for that position. And that makes the Republicans real scared. So they got a lot of shit going on, you guys. They're trying to suppress the vote. They're trying to do it legally. They're trying to introduce all types of laws that will suppress Black people's vote, especially. And so Georgia is it's kind of exciting to be in a state where so many things are happening and, it's changing, like we're on the cusp of change, or, we're a part of that. It does make me feel good to know that I've been a part of helping things to change here, but it also makes you feel a little bit off balance because that it's always going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight for a long time because this is the South. This is for real the South. That's it. But we do want to say congratulations to Miss Stacey Abrams because I feel that she deserves it. Hopefully she does win, you guys. We'll see. All right, you guys, let's talk about this stimulus update. So you guys know that when President Biden came in, he had the stimulus was on the top of his list. He wants to help the American people. The Democrats were trying to get this basically big ass, like I think it was $3 trillion stimulus package going for all of last year, pretty much. Well, they were trying to for a lot of last year, and the Republicans shot it down. The Republicans was like, no, we gonna give you $1 trillion and that's it. So that means that nobody could ever come to any type of agreement. So now we have President Biden who has come in, and I think he's trying to go in between the 3 and the 1, and we gonna do 1.9. Okay, basically $2 on the new stimulus package. He said he wanted to do it bipartisanly, but the Republicans really didn't want to do that. So he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to push it through. Okay, that is the benefit of having control of both the House and the Senate. So it is happening. But in cases like this, again, this is why there's such harsh feelings between the Republicans and the Democrats, because now the Republicans feel like he's just kind of bullying himself through and pushing through actions that they don't necessarily agree with. Okay. And again, WhatsApp did it all the time. I mean, we saw WhatsApp do all kind of shit that the Democrats didn't agree with, and we just had to go along with the program. So now they're kind of upset that they are upset that this 1.9 trillion has been pushed through. Even some conservative Democrats are not with it, but the Democrats still did vote together to push this 1.9 trillion through. President Biden has said that he's willing still to talk to the Republicans and try to see where, they can have some wiggle room and everything. But the 1.9 is happening. Okay. However you want to slice and dice the money and move it around and all of that, then he says that he's willing to maybe make some changes there. But we doing this. So we got this $1,400 stimulus check that will be coming. They're saying very soon, like in the first week of March, that people can start looking for those $1,400 checks. there is some discrepancy. I am not sure. I thought that the parameters on the amount of money that is made in a year was the same as it had been, which was $75,000 for a single person, or $150 for a couple together. But now I'm reading something about $50,000, $100,000, and I'm not really clear if that's really what's happening or if that's what the Republicans are trying to reduce it down to. Okay, so there's some discrepancy in there. I'm not quite sure, you guys. They're also trying to take the $300 a month extra a week that the unemployment benefits are offering. They're trying to take that up to $400. You guys remember that used to be $600 a week. That was done away with, and now it is $300 a week that those on unemployment are getting. They want to take it up to $400 a week. That is something that the Republicans do not want to happen either. So they're trying to figure out where they can move this money around. I had my eye a lot on the state and local governments, as you guys know that that's where I work. And they're saying that there might be some wiggle room there, and that they may remove some money from the state and local governments and infrastructure and things like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh Lord, that sounds like layoffs, you know. So I've been keeping my eye on that portion of it. But infrastructure, like, I really feel like infrastructure is something that is so important, you know, to a city, to making sure that you still make the city something nice for people to want to be in and to come and spend their money, you know. So I don't think that infrastructure really should be tampered with. But I guess when you're talking about just trying to get people to survive, and you don't give a fuck about how the city look. You're just trying to make sure people got money, you know, got money enough to feed their family and keep a roof over their head. So, you know, so that kind of gives me a little bit of those bubble guts. But I mean, it is what it is, and shout out to Ashley. You know, it's just like, what can you do? So the stimulus package is happening, and I think that everybody is excited about the $1,400 a month. You know, I told you guys that although I would love another $1,400, I'm more upset about the student loans. Like, I really wish that they was gonna follow through on the student loans and get rid of that shit. Cause honey, y'all, them $1,400 ain't doing shit for them student loans, let me tell you. But I mean, like I said, beggars can't be choosers. Give me my fucking $1,400 and come on. But anyway, you guys, that's what's happening with the stimulus. It is happening. We just still don't know all of the particulars. All right, you guys, so it's time for the Rona check-in. Let me give you some numbers here. For the new cases in the United States as of February 3rd, we have had 119,014 cases, and that continues to go down, you guys. For new deaths, we've had 3,843 that were reported on February 3rd. We have 91,440 people that are hospitalized. I don't think I've ever given you guys that number, but that actually is down 23%. And basically, when you look at the map of the United States, everybody is pretty much trending downward. It looks like that we have made it through the holiday surge. And everybody that had gotten ill right after the holidays, like, all of that is going down. And that's a good sign. That also could be because even slowly, but surely they're getting these vaccinations out. They're saying that 24 million people so far have had at least the first dosage. 6 million are fully vaccinated. That still is a very small percentage of the actual United States. But they're saying that it's getting ramped up, okay, and that more and more people are getting the vaccines. Of course, the logistics is still a problem. Depending on where you are, some states have it down and are, shuffling and hustling people through pretty quickly, and then other states are not. And there's been a few problems that have cropped up from this, okay, besides the fact that logistically trying to get this to the, millions and millions and millions of people is just going to be hard in and of itself. They are starting to notice some trends. First of all, they're noticing that there is a group of the privileged, I should say, are going to areas where the underprivileged and the disenfranchised are getting the shots or have the shots available, and these privileged folks are now going in and taking the spots of getting these shots. Basically saying the white folks is going to the black folk neighborhood to get these shots. They know that they've taken those shots to many of those in the black neighborhoods because black people were dying disproportionately more than anybody else. So they've taken it to those neighborhoods, but there's still a lot of distrust in the black community. So they are not getting the shots. Then you have some black people who are getting caught up in the log jam, the traffic jam on the internet. They may not have the internet. They may not be able to get through on the phone calls, trying to make their appointments. There's a bunch of things that's happening in black neighborhoods where black people are not being able to get to these shots. And you've got all of these rich white folks coming to the black neighborhoods. And I mean, you can't tell them that they can't come there because they're white, you know. It was a lot of stink that was made about showing ID of people who were getting the shots done. So they can't ask people for ID to figure out where they live. I mean, you can just look at them and tell they don't live, you know, you can look at them and tell they don't live over on, you know, off of Crenshaw and Slauson. So now you've got, well, that's probably a bad, description, considering that they've gentrified so much over there. So you might very well could easily see an old over there. But you know what I'm saying? Like you've got these white people that are coming and taking these shots, and black people are not being able to get to them. So now they're trying to figure out how they can get it in these black folks' arms. Okay, at least give them the chance to get it first. And then I guess if you're not, so it's just, that's one of the problems that they got going on. Another one of the problems is that these tiers are giving us issues, I think. And I don't know when eventually they're going to open it up. They're going to open it up to everybody when they have enough to go around. Right now, they obviously don't have enough to go around. Okay. So the demand is outweighing the, what's available. And so now you've got still all these tiers and some people not getting it that actually need it. And when I say that, I'm talking about the teachers. I honestly don't know how teachers should have been up at the top of the list, really, because you want to send these kids back to school, but you want to put the teachers in the classrooms and not have them inoculated. It doesn't make sense to me, okay? It's millions of teachers all over the United States who have not had their shots, and it seems like it would be easy enough to just make sure that they have had their shots so that they don't get sick, okay? But they won't do that. They're saying that the teachers don't need it because they have all of the safety measures in place and all of this, but it's just sort of like, but still, these teachers are going to be around a whole bunch of people and kids and all of this, and just give them a shot. So we know that there's not enough, because if there was enough, they would give it to them teachers. Okay, that them not giving it to the teachers is just them not wanting to say we ain't got enough yet. But these teachers ain't playing. Why the fuck I got to go in there and risk my life just because y'all now ready to send these kids back? It's all good. I think most parents would love for their children to go back, but I think everybody wants it to be done safely. If you're going to start having teachers that are dying off because they haven't been like it hasn't happened, so nobody can argue that that's what it is, even though there have been teachers that have died, but it hasn't happened on a large enough scale where they can say, see, this is why because the teachers aren't in the classroom. So I think what they're trying to say is get everybody in the class and then let's see. But, if you was a teacher, would you be willing to take that chance? Like, do you want to be the one, the dummy, the goat, the scapegoat, or the one that you test dummy, that you just put them in this classroom and see what happens? No. Okay. So the teachers is like, hell, fuck nah, bitch. we not really trying to do that right now. I know I have a lot of teachers that watch me. And I've talked to a few of you guys, and many of you guys have, don't have your shots, and you still are in the classrooms, and you seem to have fared okay. Okay. We don't hear many of those stories. So maybe if you feel like sharing, maybe you guys can kind of let me know what you think about it as a teacher. Like, are you really willing to do this? I mean, I know it's got to be tough teaching online. If I have friends that have kids that are in middle school and high school age and, even elementary school age, and they're saying how just they so fucking over it, So I can imagine what the teachers are going through, and that this will be easiest if everybody was in fucking classroom, because then you ain't even got to deal with the internet and Zoom and kids being asleep and not paying attention and all that. Like, you can have your classroom back. But like I said, everybody wants to do it safely, So it's unfortunate that they don't want to give these teachers. I really feel like the teachers should be, their priority should be up there for teachers. But teachers should be used to this, because teachers are always unappreciated, undervalued. The teachers are the ones that are responsible for turning out all of these smart folks that are running these businesses that are, so it's just like nobody seems to care about the foundation anymore. People just don't. Anyway, that's what's happening with the vaccines. And then we've got rich people that are jumping the lines and getting vaccines, from their private doctors. And so it's a lot going on. We went from people not wanting the vaccine to now everybody wants them, and it's not enough. You getting beat down like, fuck, I'll go on and take it because I'm ready to just be over it. But now they've got to get these vaccinations going. And then, you guys, nobody wants to talk about, because now it's sort of like people are cautiously optimistic, saying like, okay, these vaccines seem to be helping. The numbers are starting to go down. Maybe we'll go into the spring and we'll be able to get back out there and, maybe start going to the movies and going to concerts, maybe outdoor concerts, but still a good group of people at a concert. And, maybe by the fall, we'll be able to get back to plays in New York and get Broadway on them. So they've got like a little bit of, we kind of peeping down the binoculars to the light at the end of the tunnel, like it's almost there. But we've got these variants, you guys, and they don't want to talk too much about the variants right now because they don't want to scare people, or they don't want people to lose hope. But the variants ain't no fucking joke. And the variants, I told you guys, are highly contagious. And we still not positive if the variants is really being controlled, or how they react to these vaccines. Okay, they don't want to give no attention to the variants right now because they just want people to get these vaccines. Like, come on, let's do it. Y'all just, okay. In the meantime, they're going to be trying to come up with something that gets to these variants. But the problem with variants is you don't know when a variant is coming, so they can't get ahead of it. They just have to always react to it. And while they're reacting to one variant, another one could pop up, and another one, and another one, And if that happens, then it's just like this shit'll never end. So I think quietly they're trying to work on these variants and try to come up with something. But like Johnson & Johnson just came out with the vaccine that doesn't necessarily have a high rate of just keeping you from getting the getting the coronavirus. I think the percentage rate is something like 67%, but it has 100% rate against you going to the hospital and dying. Okay, so you might get sick, but you ain't gonna die. Okay, you probably won't need to go to the hospital. It'll be like a bad flu. It's not on the same level as the Moderna and the Pfizer, but it's still a good one to have. And then they're also saying that I think that same vaccine keeps people, you only have to have one shot as opposed to these two with the booster and everything, and that it keeps you from spreading coronavirus. Because what people don't realize is, even with these vaccinations, it doesn't mean that you don't have the virus in you. It just means that you are not reacting to the virus, but you still have it. And that means that you could still spread it. So you ain't gonna get sick, but you might still be able to spread it. So that's why they kept on saying people still need to wear their mask and all of that. All right. And they still don't know how long the vaccine lasts. So, I mean, I guess I feel like I'm a Debbie Downer and scaring you, but I want people to be informed, on what's going on with these vaccines. So you just kind of will know. But so it's just a whole bunch of shit going on with that. Like I said, the United States is finally starting to move forward. President Biden has put it in place that they want 150 million people inoculated by his 100th day in office. And they seem to be they're on course to do that because they're doing over 1 million. It's like 1.3 million a day. Okay. But another but in there, you guys. As these rich countries are starting to get their vaccinations and starting to give everybody the shots, we cannot forget about poor nations, poor countries. Some countries ain't getting no vaccinations, which means that the shit is still raging over there. And, it's always talk about the case of the haves and the have-nots, where the rich countries is getting all the vaccinations. But if you still have full countries of people where the virus is just raging through there, there's still no way that the world can be rid of it, So now we have to make sure that we look out for poor countries. They've started a foundation. There's like $100 million that they're putting into making sure that these poor countries get these vaccinations, because you can't let them still be sick and then expect the world to be rid of it. You can't reach herd immunity if you still have many countries where it is just still really bad. Everybody ain't staying in these countries. People still move around, and that means it'll still be able to spread. Okay. And I think the rich countries don't want to talk about that right now, but it's a reality. It's a reality. You cannot ignore those people. That's what's happening on the Rona. I read up on it. I read up on it every day because I be looking for a glimmer of hope, you guys. I just be wanting it to just go back to where it was. And, we all say like, girl, nothing is ever going to be the way it was. And I say that, but then I still deep down inside really hope for the days when we didn't have to deal with this kind of shit. So I be reading up on it so that I can, so that when I do see that kind of story, I can tell you guys, because this is fucking ridiculous. This is 2 years. This is going to be a whole nother year of Rona. And then next year, no telling where our country, our society, like, how things like, I keep on thinking about New York. I always think about New York and Vegas. I don't know why, but I just feel like those are two places that's never going to be the same. And if it is, it's going to be years and years and years. So I just think about certain things that was just part of the U.S., part of America, that's just not going to be the way it was. And that makes me sad, you guys. But we'll keep out hope. We're going to keep on praying, because last time I checked, God was still God, honey, and God still takes care of us. But, when you got a whole bunch of people on this earth that's just running shit and running into the ground, I guess God get tired too, child. So, but Lord, please don't leave us. All right, you guys. So I am going to get off of here. I still have to do top of the blogs. Then I'll get this edited and up to you guys. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Rox. The channel is It's Rox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. Oh, you guys, also, before I go off, I am going to put right here the new link for my It's Rox gift shop, because the link that I provided, that was provided to me before, it's bullshit. Like, it works for some people, but for a lot of people it wasn't working. So I now have a link where you can actually go directly to the gift store and you could make your purchases there. Many of you guys have already purchased, and thank you so so-much. I'm still waiting on one of my packages to come. The post office, child, don't even let me get started. But you guys, just from you guys seeing my It's Rox t-shirts and sweatshirt and my mug and things that I posted on Instagram, you guys have been supportive, and I appreciate it, and thank you so so much. So if you are interested, and if you were getting frustrated because of the other link not working, you guys, this is the right link. Y'all go on over there and you pick you out a little something. All right. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.